So I decided I'd just put together a really simple, quick first lesson on YouTube that I could send people to do if they're interested. And everybody has their different methods and ways they want to do it. But for me, it all comes down to really embracing the scale. The scale is the backbone of every song. Everybody knows, oh, there's a key signature and songs are made out of the notes of a scale. But if you just realize that that scale, anything you play on that scale is going to sound musical. And just trust that scale to make it happen. So here's one exercise you can do to get started, and that is simply to just play that scale with your right hand. 1, 2, 3, tuck your thumb under. Right, there's 8 notes, so think of 3 plus 5 is 8. So you just play 1, 2, 3, tuck your thumb under. Come back down all the way to your thumb. Put that third finger over the top. Just play that scale. And usually you start with just the same notes together. So I'm starting with a C over here. I'm going to start with a C chord. So a C chord just means I'm going to skip every other note and I'm going to put C in the bottom. So that's a C chord. That's an F chord. It's got F at the bottom. D chord, A chord, E minor chord, D chord. So just whatever's at the bottom, that's what chord it is. So I'm going to play a C chord with a C scale. Now I'm going to play an A minor chord. And you'll notice the C scale doesn't have any of these black keys. It doesn't have any sharps or flats. So any chord that also does not have sharps and flats matches every single note in that C scale. Here's a G chord. And see, I can play every single note of that scale and it will work with that chord. Here's the E minor chord. The D chord. So just convince yourself that no matter what you play, if you just stay in the notes of that scale, it's going to work. And just get used to the different feelings. So for those chords, we have 3 major chords. C major, F major, G. A major chord is one that sounds happy. A minor chord, those are kind of our spooky, more serious sounding chords, and it's all just a difference of that third note is what makes a difference between a major chord. So here's a major. F is also a major, naturally in the key of C. So no sharps and flats, you're going to get a major F chord. G, you can see how happy that guy sounds. If you get up to A, that's a little bit more sad. That's a minor chord. D, that's another minor chord. Again, if we just took that third and changed it, there's the major. There's the minor. E, there's a minor, there's a major. A lot of songs go back and forth between major and minor. The major is the bright, sunny part of it, and the minor is kind of the darker shadow. And it's good to get the contrast in there. To go back and forth between minor, major. So play around with those chords and the scale on top. That's the first thing to do. And convince yourself that that scale, any note in that scale, will work with any chord if you just stay in the key signature. You'll notice if I go out of the key signature, all of a sudden, oh, it sounds awful, right? But what did I do wrong? I played a note that's not in the key of C. But if I just stay in that scale, the scale is the magic glue that holds it all together. So just play around with that scale. That's the first thing to do. Just put different chords in the bottom. Okay, I think that's probably good for a first lesson. Thanks for joining us.